Skip this step and your shirt is gonna go poof in the washing machine. We are gonna be talking about the zigzag stitch, and if you thought the straight stitch was easy, ooh, watch this. Oh, it's so easy. By the end of this video, you are going to look like a straight boss in your tailored clothes. Or maybe just an intern if that's what you're going for. I don't know, different strokes for different folks. I'm SD, this is Stylish Dad. I hate long intros. Let's do this. Last time we talked about the straight stitch, and this time we are talking about the zigzag stitch. Now the zigzag stitch, it's got a couple of different names to it. Some people call it an interlocking stitch. Some people call it a crossover stitch, but the general idea for all three of those names are the same, to lock in that seam. Whoa, SD, I thought the only stitch we needed to know in order to tailor our own clothes was the straight stitch. Well, yeah, it is, but if you don't do a zigzag stitch over that new seam that you just created, that's where the whole poof in the washing machine thing comes from. After you sew a straight stitch and you cut off all that extra fabric, you've got a little bit of a problem. It's gonna get all tattered and frayed and just kind of get worn down all along that new seam that you just cut. What a zigzag stitch does is it prevents that from happening. What it does is it goes left to right, and all it does is it crosses over that new seam, locking in all those fibers. It's gonna do a really good job of just kind of keeping everything together on your garment instead of all on the inside of the drum of your washing machine or on your girlfriend's clothes. Oh man, one time I thought it'd be a good idea to skip this step, and I washed my shirt, and then my girlfriend went to go do her laundry, and she's like, dude, seriously? Oh, she was so annoyed. First things first, this is what we gotta do. We gotta check the settings on our machine. A zigzag stitch on my machine is letter C, and on your machine, it's probably gonna be something similar because every single sewing machine is generally kind of the same. They all ask you 3 questions. What kind of stitch do you want to make? How long do you want it to be? And how wide do you want it to be? That's it. I just described every single sewing machine made in the last like 100 years. That second dial is for the length of our stitch, and the last dial is for the width of our stitch. Now for a straight stitch, like I said before, that last dial doesn't do anything because we don't control the width of our stitch on a straight stitch. It doesn't matter. But for a zigzag stitch, it does. Now what the width setting is going to do is it's going to determine just how far from left to right our needle goes as it sews. Now, stick with me for a second because it's gonna seem kind of complicated, but it is not. I have 4 different settings for the length of my stitch, and I have 5 different settings for the width of my stitch, which means I have 20 different variations on the type of zigzag stitch that I can make on my garment. Now, if we have our stitch length at 1, which is going to be the shortest length, and we have our stitch width at 1, which is gonna be the shortest width, our seam is gonna end up coming out really close together and real bunched up. It's really annoying. It ends up being really itchy when you put it on. And not only that, but the needle is gonna have a really hard time going from left to right and actually crossing over that seam all the way. Because like we just said, the width is set to 1, so it's not really going over all that far. Now if we have our stitch length set at 4, which is going to be the longest length, and our stitch width set at 5, which is going to be the widest width, that seam's not going to end up covering up all those fibers. Does that seem kind of confusing? Because everything that I just said is actually kind of irrelevant. You can just put both of them right in the middle and you'll be just fine. We aren't making quilts, we aren't making blankets, we honestly just want to make our shirts and our pants look a lot better on us so we can go pick up hot girls at the mall. I mean, let's be honest. You think I'm kidding. That's honestly why I learned how to use a sewing machine. So I could tailor my own clothes so I can go pick up hot girls. So all you gotta do is make sure the width of your stitch crosses over that seam all the way, and you're good. Just line up your seam right on the edge there and just go over it with the zigzag stitch. Go slow in the beginning if you need to, and then as time goes on, you are just gonna go flying through that shirt. And now you have another seam on your shirt that not only actually makes your shirt a lot stronger, but it's also gonna stop from pissing off your girlfriend because you're not gonna have a bunch of extra fibers all over the inside of the washing machine. And just like that, you know how to do a zigzag stitch, you know how to do a straight stitch, and now, bro, you can tailor anything. You can tailor chinos, you can tailor jeans, you can tailor t-shirts, you can tailor dress shirts. That kind of sounds like a song. And if you want to learn how to tailor that t-shirt, I buy almost all of my t-shirts at Target for $9. This is exactly what I do to them. Go click that, and then go click that so you can figure out how to do it. And you are gonna look just straight banging in your shirt. And that is all I got for you. SD out. Deuces!